so.
Did you watch?
Yeah, picked it up. Motivate.
Yeah, that is the thing.
We're on page 210. You said already? Yeah, you just finished 209 and 210.
210, yeah. So in the two, again, this is the chapter of remembrance of the name of the Lord, and it has been said that verse number before that, 21, 23, 21, 23 on page 209. So, noble one, a person who has cut off his dependence on the external thing and dedicated his mind entirely to me, attains to a state of bliss derived from me. It's a great statement that a person who has cut off his dependence on external things. External, we are dependent on everything external, no? Our food, our sleep, our rest. We have a support for our dependence on a good bed, dependence on what? Good food, dependence on
shoes.
good friendship, good dependence on so many things in our life. No?
Pleasures.
That's why pleasure, not pain, but pleasure.
Shows, the internet,
Everything.
computers.
But we are so much dependent on things, but it says, but on the external things. But dependence on God, very, very rare. But dedicated his mind in, so first of all, dependence not on the external, to think there is some divine entity in me, God. Actually, devotees can think. That does not mean they do not live in the world, but they are a state of mind because of constant remembering God, that power generates in them. It is not depending on God. It is not. They are not talking of passivity. I'm not doing any, making any effort, anything. Okay, God will take care. That is not. It is exhausting your energy and power, and then depending on. Otherwise, there is no difference between non-spiritual and spiritual person. If anyone who is lazy, who is little little inadvertent to take care of the things and are of all these things have they and a spiritual person who highly developed mentally and have all the potential things he has done, he can do. But that is the difference between tamasa person and a sattika person appears the same. Our sattika person who's pure in nature, they will do all actions. Internally they will know that there is God. Ultimately, I depend on Him. So that there comes their strength. They never get depressed because doing their things, they depend on the divine, and that is what happens is to happen. And then their mind, and that's why all the things should be connected together. Otherwise, one cannot be an ideal devotee. What he's talking about. First of all, a person who has cut off means too strong one. But what can be done? Huh? That is the state of real devotee. Totally cut off. Mentally has least dependence on anything. Doing everything, but ultimately surrenders to God. So cut off is a strong word. His dependence on external things. Then dedicated his mind entirely to me. That is his condition. Because of that, he can cut off. You cannot cut off. just mere saying. Anxieties, worries, tension, blood sugar, blood pressure, all this will be coming naturally with that if there is not the second person. Mind dedicated his mind entirely to me. And in the state of bliss, they will be reaching a flight, a mental state of peace and joy, bliss, internally. Because total mind dedicated to God, cut off from any dependence. Most of the wandering monks or anyone who wants to say in India, uh, thousands, that's the example parallelly. India is never lacking the monks. Now they think they will go on, just get out. That's why they cut off any dependence connection with the home. Just cut off one snap. Not that they are hard, they are rude and brute. They are the best of their family, best caring person of their family. That here is the dependence on God and cut off dependence or connection with the other thing, thinking that that will is my security. We always make a wrong security, concept of security. My bank balance is my security. My house is my security. My friend is my security. Yeah, and if anything happens, there is somebody who will take care of. Who will take care? Only yes. In the material world, millions of people live like that. A devotee will live, and no one is my support. I internally know God is only my support. And I believe in Him and I dedicate my mind in Him. So this is a very great teaching. Who and that dependence on me attains a state of bliss to me. Who is me that? That me means God, who am the soul of His soul. Pranasya prana is this breath. This is the prana. No, I am living because of this breath. But who is the breath of this breath? Pranasya prana. Soul of the soul. How can people whose mind dwells on the external objects ever have that bliss? This is a question. This is a question. We always talk world. Talk he did it, she did it, always. Here, oh, this is it. And you want spiritual life? You may cheat yourself, but there is no way it does not go along that way. It cannot be. You cannot put your leg here and there. Two boats, you cannot put your leg in two boats. How much camouflage you can do? How can you think that I am very intellectual? I know all this. You can cheat others, but in your heart you know it is impossible. It's a very strong word. Whose mind dwells on the external objects, ever have that bliss. Today we have a wonderful Swami who came here. Bhumananda. He's from Kerala. He is a very popular speaker. Few millions of his are there online nowadays, people. And it's totally absolute non-dualistic person. But his face, the 83 or 84 years man, his face is beaming with joy like a child. And when he start talking about very simple, very honest and profound truth. So, and he left his home and this, that, he never, all the people who came, they never said, I will never know about all these things. He is not very, he does not speak so much, but rather a more reserved person. But anyhow, he came here and...
When did he come? Today?
That's why I was coming back that time.
Oh.
And Swami, that he's from Kerala.
Is it of
He
our
comes in this.
Of Ramakrishna order?
He's not of Ramakrishna order. But his whole ideal is Ramakrishna order. He has read all the books on Ramakrishna literature, all the Upanishads, and all the spiritual texts translated by, published by, printed by. His center, he promotes Ramakrishna mission. Bhumananda. Nanda, ওর নাম হচ্ছে ভীমানন্দ গিরি না তীর্থ তীর্থ anyhow, and that's what I'm saying, and total dependence. He was wandering monk, wandering monk, wandering, and one day somebody gathered around and say something, and then he thought it is good to interact with people this way, and his total life changed from that day, from the inward, totally exclusive inward life to the life of preaching and motivating people. So that is you cannot mind dwell at the same time on both sides. It cannot be. It is a person who has nothing as his own, whose mind and senses under control, who is even-minded in all situations, and who find full satisfaction in having communion with me, feels happy wherever he is placed. In life situation, we are drifted from life situation, takes us from one place to another, and situation to another situation. They are the people who are always full in their heart. So senses control, nothing of his own to say. It's talking about a monk, but they're talking about a bhakta. Not talking about a monk, I'm comparing that, all the qualities. But he's a bhakta. He lives in the world, remembers God, and gets. So we have to be careful that we are making spiritual practices, everything. What is happening? What transformation is happening here? Is it really transformation here happening? Or only mere it is just ritualistic? People do so many rituals and forms. So transformation. Inner life will be dependent on God. No time to depend on anything, dedicated the mind in other things, unless you put God there. That's okay. There is nothing other. If you can put God in anything, there is no other than God. That's why the practical situation comes. Serve God. Do whatever you think that you are serving your own self. I am here. I am serving myself in Vedantic way, practical Vedanta. So without that means there also mind control, senses control, because I am seeing the divine. Then it makes sense. But do we do that or only talk? Then we cheat ourselves. That's why no real joy, real peace does not manifest to our faces. This Swazu, really, I was so overwhelmed. And we spent about 2 hours, more than 2 hours. It's such a presence, sadhu sangha. It is called sadhu sangha. When you go to a sadhu, you feel really a peaceful environment, and your mind becomes really peaceful. And I never heard one word about anyone, any criticism for anyone. The moment he was here, and he came here for a Gita conference, where about 1,200 people gathered around this Gita conference. And he's trying to present the Bhagavad Gita in the language, not talking about religion and the language of religion, dharma, etc., but in a new slant, so that everyone can understand the message of the Bhagavad Gita. And he attracts so many people whenever he speaks. And anyway, their point is that how many people are attending, that is secondary thing. Many scholars can also, but transformation of your character. Transformation of the character, if it is not there, it is a meaningless wastage, self-cheating. And particularly in the monastic life, there is a camouflaging thing. Householder life, I am a householder, But monastery, like, I am a monk. Huh? You know? I am a monk. And everyone is worldly. They are worldly people. I am high heaven. Great danger. That's why there is a statement in the Isha Upanishad, Annang tama pravishanti. They enter into ignorance. Je avidyam upasate. Those who are worshipping ignorantly, the world or unknowingly worshipping these worldly objects, they annang pravishanti. Tatu bhuyotaro tamote. More dangerously they enter into deeper ignorance. Those who vidyaya gumrataha, those who are engaged in vidya. Vidya means intellectual knowledge or something to camouflage this type of thing. Their ignorance is so deep, there is no way out. Intellectually you convinced you are doing bad, you know that you are doing good. What will you do with the people who are just going killing in the name of God? Yeah, it's a good thing. I am doing for God. You cannot, that brainwashing is difficult to clean. It takes longer time, deeper ignorance. So it is very difficult to understand why Upanishad says that. I understand. Those who do wrong things, they go into darkness. I understand. Tatu bhuyotaro ivote, more than that, they enter to deeper ignorance, deeper darkness. Yau vidyaya gumrataha. Those who are engaged in intellectual understanding, wrong understanding, no? And wrong premises, you take it in a wrong direction. A person who has nothing as his own, whose mind and senses are under control, who is even-minded in all situations, and who finds full satisfaction in having communion with me, feels happy wherever one is. He is one who has dedicated one's mind to me entirely and wants nothing but me, even if they are given the choice of the status of Brahma, the position of Indra, the office of the emperor, overlordship of this Rashatala, the position of yogic powers, or birthless state of liberation. So if given all this powerful position in the world, no? Diyomanang nagrinnanti bina mat sevanam, page 209. They're given all these gifts. You be the king of the world, no? You be the emperor of the heaven. You be the lord of the gods. They don't care for all this. Nachiketa in the Upanishad, he was given all these things, but he said, I don't care. Please don't delude me, sir. He's talking to his guru. Sir, let it belong to you. You want those things, have it. But please, give me the knowledge I want. No dependence on anything else. No craving for anything. No satisfaction there. But in God and God alone. See? That's why it is called a very sharp razor sage. Walking on the razor sage. Most of the time, unless you are very sincere, there is a risk of mind misleading. Depending on the wholly on the world, depending on something totally external, which is mundane, which is subject to death and decay, and thinking I am spiritual, that is a total. But all this will come by remembering God. And that remembering God day after day will bring total independence independent inside. I was listening to one talk by Swami Sarvadevananda. Living in God, in the divine, thinking, getting absorbed in the divine, working in, as if working with the divine, thinking, being in the divine, working through the divine. That means in every way it is divinity everywhere. Only that is the path for release. Now the next verse 24 on page 210. Bhajanti atho tvamata eva sadhavo bhajanti. Oh, you do not get it. Okay, not necessary. There is no transliteration also. Okay, even after attaining knowledge of thee as devoid of the world of multiplicity, which is manifested by the power of your mysterious Maya, knowing one's continue to worship thee with loving devotion, even after attaining knowledge. Suppose all this struggle one have overcome, and they have attained to the knowledge of God, which is devoid of the worldly multiplicity. The knowing of God means they don't see multiplicity in the world. Knowing one God everywhere. Devoid of what? Devoid of the world of multiplicity. They live in the world, but they don't live in the multiplicity of the world. They live in God only.
Like Jesus said, I'm in this world but not of it, or be.
Gita said.
He said, I said that, or he was giving advice to someone. Be in this world but not of it.
Yeah.
Who said that?
Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
Are they going to continue with what the first sentence says?
I'm coming.
The first sentence says that sages who are into non-duality can still.
Yeah. So they don't see the multiplicity. They live in the multiplicity, but they see the only God there, and that the knowledge is manifest by the power of your mysterious Maya. This world of multiplicity, which is manifested as the power of Maya, no? There is only one. How it seems to be so diverse, because of the Maya's power, make it appear like manifested in millions of ways. Knowing one's continue to continue to worship thee with loving devotion, even after attaining knowledge of thee as devoid of the world of multiplicity, which is manifested by the power of thy mysterious Maya. Knowing one continues to worship thee with loving eye. Even you have attained. Suppose one, what will you do? You will not think of God? He will still continue. What's the question of us? We are deluded in the Maya of the multiplicity. Even one attains that me alone and sees me in everything. After attaining that state, they also always engage in remembering me. As we see Ramakrishna. Suppose before Ramakrishna was crying and weeping for seeing God and then doing practice, what happened afterwards? Was there any moment in his life which is minus God, devoid of God? He lives in constant that way. That's why Sri Ramakrishna, even doing little prayer, little something, evening time we find his clapping hand and doing some prayer, and morning time he's getting up in the early morning, even before anyone gets up. So those practices come and continue. It is like a momentum. Suppose momentum, when they snapped, suppose the tire, imagine in a car it was moving and the tire is snapped from the body of the engine. So with the speed it was going, it moves like that, no? There is no, that force is not added there, but it continues. That is the point. Even after that, no necessity is there for a person who has realized God or who sees God everywhere. He still continues to remember me. For they cannot find, O Lord, any purpose other than remembrance of of Thee in their life. The devotees, even after attainment, they continue to do that because they cannot help. There is nothing else. For us, we are deluded in multiplicity. For us, who are dependent on other things, for us who are driven by our past samskaras to forgetfulness, if it is crossed and constant remembrance changes our internal characters, after that what will happen? Even you attain to that, then you will not be able to live because there is so much great joy. You can really, a realized person can enjoy God more than any person, ignorant person struggling to think of God. Because then his joy is endless joy. Because he feels the presence of God in every name, every utterance brings the thrill. Ramakrishna said, when when taking a name of God in one time, it makes your body thrill with joy, no? What is called the romancho. একবার ঈশ্বরের নাম করলে যদি রোমাঞ্চ হয়, অশ্রু হয়, তাহলে জানবে, you will know that you have attained that. You need not have to do much sadhana because you have attained that. Once you take the name and you feel that inner joy, and the expression of that joy will reveal through your whole body.
Yeah, and I would think that like once if you've done it once, then you know that nothing else compares to that. And if you have the choice, am I going to go shopping or am I going to be in samadhi? Or am I going to go to a barbecue or am I going to be in samadhi? You'd always pick the better one, right?
Yeah, there is no question of choice.
Yeah.
You cannot, your mind will not go. As our mind goes the other direction, not towards God, their mind goes that direction and not to this. They cannot help. You pull him down, but he will go the other way. Because there is no meaning for them. They either God or it is meaningless. If they find God, then it's meaningful. And if it is not there, whatever it may be, wealth, prosperity, fame, greatness, nothing is nothing compared. You cannot do that. You cannot help.
Is it okay if I turn the air?
I also think. How can you do it?
Thank you.
No, you cannot do that. They are both closed. Take the key. I do not know. Here. No, you cannot. Oh, acha. Put up. Yeah, why they give this food, I don't know. And actually this is the way, in our temple we get the suffering. We don't need to do some austerity. So some people are very kind. In the temple also, suddenly you find that it is severe. The austerity. You are in Himalayas. You have to understand. You are to be given cold. Freezing cold is coming now.
I'll pick this over the Himalayas any day, okay? I shouldn't complain then.
No, I'm saying, no, complain. I am also going to say, but you picked up before me. Yeah. So note, who will read the note? Parama, read the note. This verse.
This verse seems to echo the same philosophy as has been propounded by Sri Ramakrishna in his doctrine of Vijnana as distinguished from Jnana. Jnana is the process of negation, generally referred to as neti, not this, by which the knowledge of the unity of existence is realized through the sublation of multiplicity as illusory. This is referred to in the verse as Vyudastane.
Okay, leave it.
Some long Sanskrit word. When multiplicity is totally sublated, the jnani attains to nirvikalpa samadhi, in which he realizes the unity of the essence of his I sense and of the multiplicity experienced outside as its opposite, both dissolving in the absolute consciousness, which is described as nirguna, without modification, and nishprapansha, without multiplicity or acosmic. According to Sri Ramakrishna, in the case of ordinary jivas, when this kind of samadhi is attained, the individuality of the jiva is lost forever. In the absence of the ego sense, personality has no support, and the body of the one immersed in such perpetual samadhi perishes in the course of 21 days. Oh my gosh, we gotta be careful here.
Now, if that, how many people know? It's very difficult.
Yeah.
How many people only if you go there and stuck there and never come down for 21 days, then it will go away. That's true.
Yeah.
But ordinary people, even they say that Brahmaganis, those who are realized soul, they get they touch and come back. That's why they live in the world. That's why we get the examples. We say so many spiritual people because they came down.
And probably remember, when Sri Ramakrishna, he would go in samadhi for so long, people would like try to give him water and try to give him food.
Or or somebody, they would distract him or wake him, because they were worried he'd leave the body or something.
Bring food in so he could smell the food or something.
No, that means no. These great souls come down because of our to preach the world. They have the mission. They keep this little ignorance that I will drink water. With that small desire, they to pull them down again. But those who attain there and go there and stick to samadhi for 21 days, that body falls like a dry leaf.
Oh yeah. But, says Sri Ramakrishna, in the case of rare persons, the incarnations and divinely commissioned personages, the I sense that has become one with the absolute consciousness is, by the divine will, restored after samadhi, but in a transformed state. In the state of ignorance before the intuition of unity, the ego knows itself only in its worldly relationship, as one of a particular nationality, as the son of so-and-so, as occupying such and such a position, etc. This, according to Sri Ramakrishna, is the avidya aham, the I of ignorance. As against this, the transformed and illumined I, the I of knowledge, or vidya aham, realizes itself as intimately related with the universal self in some form of loving relationship, as son, friend, sweetheart, etc. And as regards the external world, what was experienced in the state of ignorance as mere multiplicity is now understood as the one manifesting as the many. In fact, the Vijnani, as the person with this illumined ego is called, experiences that the one Satchitananda, existence, knowledge, bliss, is manifesting himself as Ishvara, God, Jivas, individual souls, and Jagat, universe, in a sportive manner out of the abundance of his inherent bliss. The Vijnani lives as a playmate of God and as an expression of his redeeming love. In him is expressed the most powerful form of loving and ecstatic devotion called Mahabhava. For him, God is not power, as he is to an ignorant devotee, but love, and he himself becomes an expression of that love through service. As it is stated in the above verse, God love is the only possible occupation in life for the Vijnani. The Srimad Bhagavata verse numbered 1710 describes this condition as follows. Great sages, even after attaining mukti and engrossment in the self, are still found to practice motiveless devotion to the Lord. So very wonderful are the excellences of Hari.
So he has described he is what is called Big Jnani, and that's a Big Jnani. Thakur also in the Gospel has described it in different places. Jnani and Big Jnani. Big Jnani means this person who is reached Samadhi, and his whole world is transformed. As in the ignorance level, we see the multiplicity. But in Jnani state, they see in the multiplicity that same oneness. That is the difference. And the Sri Ramakrishna, he has quoted Sri Ramakrishna in so many ways. When multiplicity is totally sublated, the Jnani attains to Nirvikalpa Samadhi. When Bohu, Nana, uh, Nana means many. When many is gone, and they see the one permeating everything, that is the sublating the multiplicity. And they attain, then that is the state when they can go into Nirvikalpa state. This is all multiplicity and in the place of duality. So that's the ignorant state. Yahyo naneva pashyati mrityu sa mrityumapnoti yaho naneva pashyati. Upanishad says, and that's something you are saying that very nicely. I have said nothing but Upanishad. And Upanishad is such a power, it can help everyone with such a strength. So it says, Upanishad quotes this verse, that Yaiho nanaiva pashyati. Nana means many. As if it is all different. So mittu, so goes into death, to death, and to death. That means it's born again and again in the cycle, because you are seeing the multiplicity. But those who see only oneness, theirs are the release forever. So when the multiplicity is totally sublated, the Jnani attains the Nirvikalpa Samadhi. And what happens? In that state he realizes the unity of the essence of his I sense. Then you understand what is I. I is not only this much, but I permeates everywhere. That means he understands what is the real I sense of the multiplicity experience outside as its opposite, both dissolving in the absolute consciousness. The multiplicity, what is there, that will be dissolved into that one I, big I. All the ripples, all the waves of the ocean will drop into the ocean. Because his I is expanded in such a way, he sees that my I is everywhere. And naturally, what happens? Then spontaneously become helpful to the society. Love the society. Because you don't have to teach anybody that you have to take care of your eyes, then you have to take care of your hair, you have to take care of your food, because it is natural, because I is related with the necessity. I is me in the finger, I is me in the head. So anything happens in the finger is me suffering, anything happens here, it is suffering me. So their I extends in such a way in multiplicity that's why Vivekananda like people suffering for the difficulties of anyone in the world, anywhere. No boundary of race, caste, creed, and this and that. This sadhu was telling beautiful. But when we are born as in a Brahmin family in the early days in Kerala, low caste people will be there. We had been trained to see that when we go, we'll have to make a noise. Ho, 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 like that. If you do that, others will understand, oh, he's a high caste Brahmin is going. So they will run aside. Such was the situation. And he said that when from that environment, I came to Calcutta and I saw that worship is going on and Durga Puja time and in this celebration, everyone is hugging each other and doing that. It opened my eyes. It's a different dimension of spirituality. I never understood that. And he got a Hindu and a guru who is from Bengal, and naturally he's seeing this type of breaking the barrier of caste system started there, because he is born in a culture where we are upper class, they are lower class, and untouchable. From that situation, went there, and everyone is embracing each other and dancing and singing, and who is thinking you are a Brahmin, I am a low caste, upper class, no such thing. Seeing that, it suddenly opened his eyes. And then he got that, and he thought that I will be wandering monk. So seeing that love now generated in a way, he does not feel that this is one separate from me, and the equal sense of behaving with people and respectfully dealing with them has come spontaneously. And that expresses the face and his dealings with them. Such sweet, such loving, such affectionate. So this manifestation of breaking the manifoldness into oneness. I sense extends. As the I sense of the mother extends to the baby. No. Baby's suffering becomes mom's suffering more than her own suffering. No. Baby is suffering. Mother is much more feeling pain for the baby rather than she would have suffered. Wow, I has extended there. I consciousness has a capacity to extend and touch more, and it can expand in every direction. If that is not extended, then you are stunted. Your spirituality is stunted. What for your spirituality? You are only for yourself. I am this much. I am a high priest. I am greater than all. It is needed towards the beginning of spiritual life to think something that yes, I am a path of spirituality, so I am a little different than others. To honor the path we have followed. But that should not lead one to be arrogant to think, oh, they are all who are great. I am not I am.
I just read in I think it was some Buddhist book about how they say wisdom and compassion
Go parallel.
are like, two
Wings
on a
of the
bird. Yeah, and you need both.
If it does not happen, then it is not happening spiritual. No spiritual growth is happening. If it does not happen, it is not spiritual growth. Because that I consciousness should expand. They will be very much concerned with others' problems, suffering. Even they cannot do anything, they will go and pray and then do their whatever. They have no money, maybe you cannot do anything. Why people come to us to say, oh Swami, my mother is like this, please pray for her. Means what? It is an opportunity to give us to extend my I-ness, I consciousness. You cannot do anything. You are not a rich person, you are not a millionaire, you will give money and this and that. But you can send your I consciousness, expand, because same consciousness is there. So that extension becomes spontaneous. There is a negative side of it. If he is not really careful, he will extend and then get stuck into the world. But that is totally different thing. It is we are talking of a sincere student who is remembering God every breath, every second, who has cut all dependence in God, with the world, but dependence in God only. We are talking about that serious student. It is not for just talkers. And that will bring that I sense and of the multiplicity experience outside as its opposite, both dissolving in the absolute consciousness. This I consciousness and the I consciousness, I of behind everyone, will dissolve in one, which is described as nirguna or nisprapancha. That state of without nirguna, there is no quality or no modification, and nisprapancha means there is no worldliness. Akasmic. Naki, how do you say akasmic? Cosmic, akasmic. Opposite of the cosmos. According to Sri Ramakrishna, in the case of ordinary jivas like us, when this kind of samadhi is attained, the individuality of the jiva is lost forever. They just merge ordinary devotee. But some come back. In the absence of ego sense, personality has no support. If their ego is gone, your personality is gone. Your personality becomes divine personality. This is my personality now, my egocentric personality, with anger, frustration, desire, expectation, this, that, who are the bundle of all these negativities. Is this I consciousness now. But this personality will dissolve when it goes back to the I consciousness, that the part of the cosmic consciousness. And when this drops, what will happen? There is no support. In the absence of ego sense, personality has no support. And the body of one immersed in such perpetual samadhi cannot continue long, but it perishes in course of 21 days. But, says Sri Ramakrishna, in the case of rare persons, the incarnation and divinely commissioned personages like Vivekananda, like Christ, Buddhas, what they do? The I sense that has become one with the absolute consciousness, the is, by the divine will, restored after samadhi, but in a traditional, transformed state. They live in the world as we see them after samadhi, Ramakrishna coming back, Vivekananda coming and speaking and walking in the, but in a transformed state. We are in that old rut. They have transformed themselves and they live in another level of awareness.
The ripe ego. Is that the ripe ego?
The ripe ego, or there is no ego. Only God plays to them. Because if suppose your ego is totally gone, then you will be guided by the ego of the divine. If one is that's the output of your continuous remembering God. The question is that don't miss the foundational point. It is not coming for an idiot. It is coming only for the sincere person who is constantly remembering in every breath, every moment. He is giving thanks, God. Oh Lord, because of you I am breathing. Because of you this is happening. Because of this happening. All the time, he has no moment to forget God. If that type of person, his ego is transformed into divine ego. And that with that divine ego, when even they attain, if the God wants them to work in the world, and they keep them in the world and make them move. And in the state of ignorance before the intuition of unity, like us, the ego knows itself only in its worldly relationship. My ego with a relationship, we say, I am such and such, I am born here, this is my qualification, what is my bio, this is me, this is the description of me. Knows itself only in the worldly relationship as one of a particular nationality. I am born in this country as a son of such and such person, as occupying such and such position in my life. These are the wrong impression about that I, real I. This, according to Sri Ramakrishna, is the avidya aham, that I related to ignorance. And it need not be explained much because we are all there. But we are talking about the other one that we do not know. The pure I, which is not covered by ignorance, that we do not know. As against this, the transformed and illumined I, transformed I, illumined I. That I, the knowledge of Vidya, that was avidya, opposite, it is a Vidya. Vidya aham realizes itself as intimately related with the universal self in some form of loving relationship, as with the relationship. God is my father, the son, my friend, my sweetheart, all the 5 relationship with God. Shanto, Dasya, Shakha, Vatsala, Madhura. These are all 5 moods. They live in the world taking any of the moods. Ramakrishna used to live in the world. He said, mine is Matri Bhava. My attitude is, I am a child of mother. Mother everywhere. I am a child. I have no ego of my own. Whatever mother does. No? Child-mother relationship. Mother-child relationship. So this was Ramakrishna's special feature. Out of the 5 attitude is Shanto, Dasya, Shakha, Vatsala, Madhura. And Ramakrishna has added another, probably in a different way. You can say he has put himself as a child of God. And as regards the external world, what was experienced in the state of ignorance as mere multiplicity, see what a transformation coming. That which was before illumination, like us, what we see everywhere, it is different, it is one, it is separate, this is bad, this is good, this is the. We live in constant awareness of this multiplicity. That multiplicity, what was experienced in the state of ignorance as multiplicity, is now understood as the one manifesting as one many. What a beautiful transformation. Previously, it is all different, all nonsense. It is worse, that is worse. Huh? Everything is bad. I am the good person. There is in the world nothing like me. I am the special uh, creation of the world, as it were. No? But this transformation will be that it is I, what I was seeing as manifold and multiplicity, that multiplicity and manifoldness will dissolve. You will see the oneness and the I-ness. That capital I will be everywhere. In fact, that is the point we have to regularly analyze. Spiritual growth. People think that, oh, I am doing nothing happening. Nothing happening. Don't pay value to what vision you see. What type of light is coming, what type of dream you are thinking. That is not enough. In spiritual life, every day observe how much we are successfully transforming ourselves from our petty ego to seeing this cosmic consciousness manifesting. It is all me, my real me, or my God, my beloved, who is here. So ego should collapse, and that cosmic ego should manifest. If it is not, watch on that side. That is your spiritual growth. Every day while you are walking, try to feel that is there any way you are connected with the tree? Are you connected with this flower? Are you connected with the sky? Are you connected with the bird flying? Is there any identity with that? Feel the connectedness. Extend that connectedness. If you are getting more and getting peace in that way of seeing and transformational thought, then you know that you are progressing. And if every day you find all is nonsense, all is rubbish, all is wastage, all is gadha, mador, pagol, then you are wasting your life, spiritual life. Nothing happening. Try to see that one is manifesting through many. That means who is in me, that is the real me, and that is manifesting in so many ways. And that there comes the theory of play of God. God's play is going on. You cannot criticize anyone. You cannot say, blame anyone, because God's play. Who are you? Your ego, little ego, petty ego, sees the manifestation of this devilish world. When the ego transforms, it is God's play. You don't exist at all. Who are you? Why are you talking? How do you speak anything? Why do you exist? So, very serious thing. We don't think all these things, no. Every day we have to think that it is, if you say you are spiritual, you are abolishing your ego. That's the spiritual. Or your ego is transforming into divine ego. No. So what is the transformation happening? Can you see that egoless state means your ego is gone? Then whose ego will remain? It's the divine ego, divine consciousness. And divine is manifesting in so many ways. And who are you to say it is good, it is bad?
But Swamiji, what about the tsunami that over time?
That state, if you remain in that state, you will see different. Tsunami, when you say it is God, is playing with God.
So many people die.
Who are the people there? It is all God dying, God dying.
Or for example, in Syria, you see.
Yeah, God
children.
dying. God. It is nothing but God. It is a state of that level. In that level one remains. There is no world. There is no multiplicity. How many people are enjoying? Swami Vedanta says, you are enjoying to millions of mouths. You are hungry in millions of. You are enjoying the luxury of the world. You are the same person in so many people suffering. So then that is not true. They are
Then
talking.
there is no suffering.
There is no suffering. Question comes because I am in ignorance and I keep with my ignorant perspective. Yes, it is a great feeling for others. That is extending your ego. For our ignorant state, it is a good thing. But a realized soul, from that standpoint, when they live in that consciousness, they say it's God's play going on. When they come down, they suffer for the crying of others. Vivekananda's cry for others. When they come down little, in the multiplicity, from that state of experience, for the good of the world, they cry and weep for the suffering of everyone. That suffering is much worth suffering. Their tears brings tremendous joy. Suffer for yourself, you are doomed to down to your more depressed mode. But you suffer for others, cry for others, see the transformation. That cry will bring you new life. That is called myself and for others. And what is others? Again, ignorantly I am saying others. There is no other. It is only one God, one I, manifesting in how many ways? All the ripples, bubbles. What is the tsunami? Tsunami happening in the waves. What about the other waves? All waves are carried out and smashed and trashed and everything. But it's all ocean water. So the cosmic level.
But what about thousands of people that die?
Who is the people you are talking? Again,
Who are you?
you are saying, taking your idea of concept of man only. We are not thinking as consciousness. In the consciousness, where is death, where is birth? It's a different level. We should not mix up that level with this level. Confusion coming because I am staying here and I feel my pain. Yes, I feel the other person is suffering. Good. My development. Extension of my ego is happening. But when that state you go through this point of identifying with other and extending, then you will not only suffer, you will also enjoy. Anyone smiling, it will bring smile in your face. Anyone is, as Swami Vivekananda said, in search of God. The friend shaking their hand, you see God's presence there. A baby saying ma, 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 you see the presence of God there. You don't not only see the suffering. It is the same play. God is playing here and there. God is in this situation. God is in that situation. It is God's Leela.
I imagine once you experience the joy, then you see the joy in every event.
When our ego is the main thing that we are living in our ego consciousness, and as a result, what you are saying, everything is correct.
Everything is what?
Everything is correct. Why people are suffering? This is suffering. True. But we are talking of a person who constantly remembering God has created such an identity in his life. He has nothing but big I. God, 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 God.
So are you saying that the root of all suffering is a feeling of separation?
Separation, and what separates us? Our ego separates us,
Ego.
our intellect
That ego
separates
is
us,
the cause.
our mind separates us, our emotions separate us, our body separates us. Now you go from bodily we are separate. But emotionally, anyone is emotional, they react the same way. Emotional, one level go up. Emotional, go to the mind level, go to the intellect level, go to the ego level.
Cautious.
And there, that is the last barrier, ego level. And that ego is making multiple ego and my ego. And when that collapses, what remains? That is the state of Vijnana, Swamiji is telling. Okay. Now we. Oh, only one bhasha is there. Okay.
Swami and all his gopis.
You don't have very many pages left, Swami.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are we going to do after
Yeah,
this?
what are you going to
So will there be anyone to
That's
the
the
class?
question.
Our situation is becoming.
Yes, we want to keep going.
দিয়ে দাও না তুমি দেখিয়ে দাও না দেখিয়ে দাও আমি যাই না দেখিয়ে দাও। হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে, তো ওটা দেখাবার কি আছে, উপনিষদে আছে তো, বলে দাও না তুমি তোমার। আরে
Thank you so much.
ওকে, চাই
I'll see you at 2.
হ্যাঁ।